Hello and welcome to yet another episode of You Can Get There From Here. I'm Dr. Joe Moore, Chair of the Department of Communication and Digital Media Production at the University of Central Missouri, and it is my pleasure every week to get to visit with some of our alumni, some who graduated in digital media production, some who graduated in communication studies, others who got their master's degrees here at the university. We talk about how the degree helped them and what they're doing today. Today, our guest is Sydney Baynham. Sydney graduated with a degree in communication studies, and she is now lead human resource coordinator. I got to make sure I get that title right at Lockton Companies up in Kansas City. Sydney, great to have you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're so glad to have you here with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's Sydney Baynham?
Yeah, so Sydney Baynham, I am the lead HR coordinator here at Lockton, but aside from having my full-time job, I am a dance teacher at night. And so dancing is still very big in a part of my life, and I also danced in college as well. So I was able to experience the fun and also continue on with my career as well.
That's outstanding. I didn't realize you were still teaching dance. Where you teach up there?
Yeah, I'm teaching at a studio up in Liberty. It's called Liberty Glee and Dance. So I have kids that range from the age of like 7 all the way to 18.
So you're working for a company doing human resources with big adults and then with little
Yes.
kiddos.
Yes.
So I imagine your communication background really helps you in that regard, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does a lot.
Well, tell
hmm
us about Lockton. What is Lockton Companies?
So Lockton Companies is an insurance brokerage. I don't work directly in insurance myself since I am in the HR field. I Lockton services clients, mostly with benefit insurance and brokerage in that source. Our client needed human resource help, so I actually do HR for one of our clients that is a big food franchise. So my employees I do HR for, they work at Arby's, Taco Bell's, KFC's, and Sonic now. We just bought some Sonics out as well. So yeah, I do HR for about 24,000 employees, and I have a
Wow.
team of five that work up under me. And yeah, so employees just call us and email us for any sort of HR assistance as far as garnishments, paperwork, anything HR related, we can assist them with as well.
Excellent. We talk a lot about in communication studies. That's one of the areas that we prepare you for is to work in human resources. But you were saying before we came on today that that's not your job right out of college. I forget, what year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2021.
Okay. And so you've had a
Mhm.
couple other jobs before coming to Lockton. What led you there? Kind of take us on that journey a little bit.
Yeah, so it all kind of started in college, honestly, because I originally went to school with one major and it was digital media productions. I loved that major. I had hopes to be a news anchor one day. And then 2020 happened, and a lot was going on with COVID and everything else around the world. And I decided that I didn't want to be a news anchor anymore because I didn't want to talk about some of the stuff that was happening at the time.
I've
And
heard
then
that
I
story a
actually,
few times.
yeah, and then I actually took what was the class called? It wasn't like a social media class, but it was like uh, the one that I had with you with the social media.
Media promotions. Yeah, media
Media pro,
promotions.
yeah. So I took the media promotions class, and that's when I realized that I was pretty good at social media and felt like that was something that I wanted to do. So then I added my communications minor at that time. I think I did like a semester of having it as a minor, and then I realized that was something that I was really interested in. And then I added it as a double major. So then I double majored from digital media and communications, and that way I was like, if I graduate, I could do something with both of these majors and figure out what I want to do from there. And it worked out that way. So straight out of college, I got a job in marketing. It was a marketing job for a software company, and I did the social media for them. And I thought that's what I wanted to do with social media since I love doing it. And I was the promotions manager for the Mill Skinner as well, and I enjoyed doing that as well. But being in social media and marketing for a software company was not ideal for me because I realized the only way that I like doing marketing and social media is if it was something that I was passionate in, and software was not what I was passionate in. So I stayed there for about 7 or 8 months straight out of school. It was the first job opportunity that was given to me, and I took it. Moving forward, I would recommend not to take the first opportunity that is given to you. But when you are a desperate college student, you're going to probably do that. So I did that for 7 or 8 months. And then I started applying for other jobs, still in the marketing field, because I was like, I just need a job that I enjoy in marketing. And I happened to just apply for one job randomly as an human resource coordinator. And I was thinking, I'm not going to get this job. I don't have any experience in HR. Every type of internship and experience I've ever had was social media. So I felt like I had a higher chance of getting a marketing job than human resources. But that job was the job that gave me an opportunity, the human resources job. And that was at a company called Lever One. It's a human resources company. That's the second job I had straight out of college, and I did benefits with them. I was a benefits coordinator for them. That's when I learned the realm of benefits and HR, and it HR at that point interests me more than any other topic that I've ever had. And then after that, I came onto Lockton because one of my high school friends was working here and she recommended it to me. And I knew that I wanted a big company moving forward. The last company I had was a smaller company. And it was great learning experience. It's what I enjoyed, but I knew that for my future and what I wanted in my career was to have a big company that I could keep moving up from. And I knew Lockton was that big company. And so I've been at Lockton now for 2 years, and I am moving up the way that I wanted to. So yeah.
That's worked out very nicely. It's funny you mentioned the media promotions class and
Mhm.
social media, and I remember you before that. I remember you were a good student. I
Mhm.
didn't really know where your skill set lie, but I knew you
Mhm.
were a good student. And then when we did that social media assignment, I distinctly remember, yeah, this is what she needs to be doing. She's
Mhm.
really good at this, but things happen. You go a different route with it. You find a different passion, and it sounds like it's worked out really well for you. That's one of the things we talk about with a digital media or communication studies degree is it's so versatile
Mhm.
because we're constantly communicating. So, how has it helped you as a human resources professional?
Yeah, so I found out at a very young age, I enjoyed writing, and even in college, that was like one of my strengths is being able to write, which is why I feel like the social media was a good presence for me. Um, but I'm still able to do that, even though it's not like, writing for the public. I'm still able to communicate with my employees by email and just having like, the passionate part with the writing helps because I'm able to communicate better. And I also feel like in my communications degree, I was able to really understand people and how they think and how like my communication affects others. And I think that one of the big things that I also realized when I got out of school is being in the software company is I didn't like that as much because I didn't feel like I was making an effect on other people. And it just felt like I could have been doing more than just making social media posts for software. So I love that now I'm able to write and communicate and also like make a positive effect on other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, in human resources, that's what we talk about. Humans
Mhm.
are the most important resource in any business, and you're having an impact on them and how
Mhm.
they're able to function and how to take care of their families and such. That's great. So,
Mhm.
what were some of your favorite classes in your program?
Yeah, so the one that we just talked about, the media promotions,
Thank you for
and
that little
then
plug. Appreciate it.
I did enjoy that class a lot. And then also I took a class, I think it was the Dale Carnegie class.
That
I
one
really
comes up
enjoyed
all
that.
the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I was really surprised that I enjoyed that class. I knew nothing about it prior to taking it, but it was actually one of the classes I enjoyed most. Um, but yeah, basically all my communications classes were my favorites. And which is crazy because I went in doing digital media, but I liked learning about communications after, like, overall.
Well, they're like I said, they're very versatile, and
Hmm.
whether you're making a movie or doing a sports broadcast or doing a radio show or whatever, it's all about communication. So
Hmm.
I can see where that would fit right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You talked about your dance background. You talked a little bit about being the social media coordinator for the Meal Skinner. What else were you involved in? Because we talk all the time that it's not enough to be in the classroom. You've got to get out and practice those skills. Talk about those two areas for sure, dance and the Meal Skinner, and how you were able to practice your communication there. But what else were you involved in when you were in school?
Yeah, so when I was in school, I was a very busy girl. I worked 3 jobs when I was in school. So I worked at Hy-Vee part-time, and then I worked at the Mill Skinner, but then I also did an internship at a place called Rise, where I did social media for them for a bit. And then after I did my internship with them, I continued on and stayed working there. And it was nice because I was able to kind of integrate both Rise and UCM, and I would bring so Rise was a I helped special needs adults there, and I was able to still communicate with my social media and still work there. That's something that I was passionate in because, like I said, it was something I was helping people. So I was able to bring like some of the adults that I worked with onto campus with me and let them experience some of those things. Then I also was able to do dance team, which helped a lot just stay involved on campus. Without dance team, I don't think that I would have been as involved as I was. I was able to gain friends and then also go to all of the events, football games, basketball games, any sort of outside events that they were having, I was able to attend. And then the Mill Skinner also helped me stay involved as well because I was able to go and basically market what I was trying to do, but it also just helped me learn so much more about UCM. It's so important to stay involved at the school because if you're not and you feel isolated, then you kind of lose that passion and that drive as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I talk about getting involved and making friends outside of your classroom and things like
Yeah.
that, because then you do feel more invested and you are practicing the skills that you're learning in the classroom. So you took full advantage of that. That's great. So,
Hmm.
last couple of questions I have for you deal with your experience as a student and now as a professional. You've put what you learned to work. What advice would you give to a current UCM student? And what would you say to a high school or community college student who's thinking of coming to UCM?
Yeah, so I loved UCM. I love for me, I am the baby of the family. I'm the only girl, so I knew that I never wanted to go far. That was never the plan for me. UCM was the perfect distance away from my family to come home, but also get that experience away from home that I feel like I needed to be independent. Um, but aside from that, UCM is so close knit. It's like it's kind of like high school where you almost know everyone. You're not going to know every single student, but you're going to know majority of them. And I loved having that like close knit family. I still communicate with a lot of my peers from UCM. Rather they were close friends of mine or they were just in classes with me. We can still keep in contact from social media and LinkedIn. And I love that we all support each other even from a far distance. Um, but yeah, that was my main part of going to UCM. It's just like being able to have that home away from home, and that's what UCM was for me. The advice I would give is never to stop taking risk or never be afraid of change because I'm someone that doesn't like change at all. And I had in my mind that I wanted to do something, and I almost felt guilty for wanting to do something different than what I told myself I wanted to do. But it's much better to try new things and find what you're happy and your niche is in than stay somewhere where you're just in one spot and you're not happy. And I was just thinking that I'm so young, like I don't have to just sit here and stay in this one spot because that's what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. Um, I'm still young and I don't know, there might be a chance that I change careers in the future, but at this moment I am happy with what I'm doing.
Well, Sydney, we're so glad that you are happy with what you're doing. We're happy that we were able to be a part of your journey. I'm so proud of you. And good luck to you. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. And thanks all of you for tuning in today. Remember, you can catch every episode on our YouTube channel through the UCM Media Network. That's youtube.com/UCMMN. You can also listen on Spotify. Special thanks to Jake Mager, one of our students, for creating our theme music. Again, this is Dr. Joe Moore reminding you, you can get there from here. Have a great day.